Studios. Joining us now, Richard Greenlee, the owner-promoter of Wratchet Entertainment. Richard, what's going on?
Not much, Gerard. How you been?
I'm doing great. So you got some concerts coming up here, don't you?
I do. The first one is next weekend, July the 9th, out at Renaissance here in Ridgeland.
You've been doing a few of those there at Renaissance. That's a neat venue.
Yeah, we have a Twilight Concert Series. We've been here before and talked about the model that I have. It started during COVID, but it was the model that I want anyway. It's all, we sell VIP tables and pods. You buy a pod of 10 by 10 square in the grass. It's you and your friends. And, it was great during social distance time, but it's the model that I wanted anyway because people really enjoy not having to fight and elbow. They get the general admission feel and the grass between their toes, but you're not fighting for a spot. And when you go to get a libation or the restroom, you're not fighting to get your way back up there. So it's a really great, very high-end model.
Do the artists kind of configure their sound systems for an outdoor venue like that? Is that different than they would do indoors, for example?
Oh, yeah, and that's all up to the sound and lighting crew and the producer that we do that. Our engineers come out and they take every, acoustically everything is different. You can be playing indoors in different sizes. You can be playing outdoors with or without buildings that have slap back to the mute. So we have different configurations depending on how many people we have. We have delayed stacks, where you put sound forward in the venue that are slightly delayed, and so but it's different every time. Okay, we have great sound and production crew that does that.
Okay, and lots of technology has been developed through the years to help them figure all that out.
Absolutely, even in indoor venues. I don't want to get off the subject here, but they can direct sound into every little spot and place now.
Incredible.
Where it used to be big subs and stacks of high end, and that was it.
Or hanging from the ceiling, the rafters.
Hanging from the rafters. And if you can be on the front row and not hear anything because all the sound's behind you. But now they direct everything every little way.
Incredible.
It's awesome.
It's incredible. So, all right. So who do you have coming on the night?
I have got Big Head Todd and the Monsters, and J.J. Gray and Mofro are the co-headliners, and a young guy. He is an up-and-comer out of New Orleans called Jay and the Causeways. And
Jay and the Causeways.
He is incredible, and I saw him in Natchez at Balloon Festival last year, and Arden Barnett said, "You're going to love this guy." And I saw him and said, "We got to get him." He drove up backstage, and I'm like, "Who's this guy in a pickup truck, with beard and a hat? He looked like a fraternity boy at Ole Miss from out of Delta." He jumps out, he gets on stage, and he's got the sweetest voice. He plays organ, and he entertains, and I can't explain what he sounds like. One minute he sounds like Stevie Ray Vaughan, then he sounds like, Pharrell Jackson. He's awesome. He's going to be big.
Well, and so is he a native New Orleanian?
He is. Jay and the Causeways.
Thus the Causeways, huh?
And Big Head Todd and the Monsters been around for a while. We had that show last year, knock on wood, that canceled because of weather. Yeah. They're out of Denver. They're back. And then J.J. Gray and Mofro is out of Jacksonville, and he's insane. He's played here quite a few times. He headlined the Friday night of Cathead Jam in 2019, and it's going to be a special night.
Yeah. Well, that ought to be fun. So what's on the horizon for you after that? I mean, I know you're doing a lot of work here in Mississippi, and you've done several concerts here at the Renaissance, right? You've done the Coast. And
the Twilight Series. We do have a confirmed date of October 22nd, and we're working on 2 more dates. We have some exciting announcements coming out soon. I wanted to get July 9th behind me first because we got a late start this year, and this is a great fall for us because Ole Miss and State both have lots of away games. Okay. So it gives us some weekends we can work in where it's not so blistering hot and a good fall. Fall's great out at Renaissance.
Yeah. What is the attitude of the audiences? Did they appear to want to go to live concerts? I mean, I would think, having been locked up a couple of years, they're all gung-ho for this.
And that's one of the issues we're having right now is, everybody was locked up. Audience, producers, bands. Yeah. And then so when it unlocked, everybody, there's a little bit greater demand, but the supply is the same. Okay. So supply much greater. So it's hard to find bands because they're getting offers left and right to play everywhere. And so that's what's the hard part is finding bands that are available.
Okay. Interesting. So have several that typically would have been touring pre the pandemic, they're just kind of standing down right now?
No, they're touring, but you're competing against every promoter in every city, and money's crazy. And I'm a financially sound business person. There are promoters out there that just want to book the best band. And I just, it's really tough to get bands right now at a reasonable price. And especially for me, because I'm only putting on weekend shows out there.
Okay.
I'm not a Thursday night or Tuesday night market, and so it's the most high demand is the weekend show as well.
Sure. Yeah, we used to say, well, they lose a little bit on every sale, but they make it up in volume, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we actually just released some more great Tier 1 and Tier 2 pods and some more VIP seats. We always sell out our VIP tables, and you can find tickets at twilightms.com. That's twilightms.com, and we'll be finishing selling those tickets this week and announcing some future shows shortly.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, do you have some partners that you work with on this? I mean, the business partners that you can talk about?
Arden and I has worked together for a while, and I help him set up his shows, and he helps book and promote our shows, and we work well together. And then we have our sponsors. Though we couldn't do this with our sponsors. Our sponsors are great. Is Southern Beverage has been awesome. Watkins Construction's come in big here. They those guys, Mike and Sally, are awesome to work with. First Commercial Bank, of course, Renaissance. The guys at Renaissance have been great to work with. Andrew and Jan and Mark, and Nukes has always been a great sponsor of ours. So it's it's awesome. We got some. We couldn't do this without sponsors because it's so expensive. I build basically a from the ground up festival site for a one night concert. So it's very expensive to produce shows out there. Yeah.
And I would assume then that the business model is such that it really can't make the economics work just on ticket sales. You got to have sponsors.
0%. We would lose. I mean, it really is. It's a partnership. And I did model this after Live at the Garden. I think I've told you that before. That's at the Botanical Gardens in Memphis. We have great concert, but it's a very high-end social experience. And, it's people are going around from table to table and talking, and, we all hotty-toddy potties out there, no porta potties, and it's really high-end special experience. And so we could not do it without sponsors.
Are you trying to cater to a certain concert goer, a certain audience, a certain demographic?
Yes and no. I mean, because we have to book bands that, I love Jackson, Mississippi, born and raised here, but it's not Nashville. It's not L.A. So there are only a certain amount of people that enjoy live music from all different demographics, all different age groups. So our bands usually cover that. But still, it's a high-end, if you're looking for the cheapest ticket price out there, it's not us. Yeah. But we're also not a big lawn and a concrete box. You're getting high-end food, high-end service. It's first class,
What's the big venue out in Colorado?
Red Rocks?
Yeah,
Red Rocks.
You been there?
I have actually. It's funny. I've never been to Red Rocks, and Big Head Todd just played there last weekend.
Okay.
It's everybody. If you ask artists, what's your favorite venue, you get two answers: Red Rocks and the Gorge. Huh. And it's something special about the place. I've never been there, but I've seen many videos and shows of people there. Yeah. So.
Used to be the Hollywood Bowl, right? At one time, it's kind of. It's gone away.
It's moved around. There's something special about Red Rocks, and it's a natural formation. It's set there outside of Denver, and it's just again, I've never been, but I've heard many stories and interviews about artists and of course patrons' favorite place to see or perform. Yeah. So.
Do you see you and Arden branching out outside of Mississippi and the adjacent region?
Yeah, well, Arden does. Arden's been doing this for a long time. He's great. He's kind of been a mentor of mine and for 30 years, and he's doing stuff outside of Mississippi. And I've looked at some stuff outside of Mississippi and Houston. We'll kind of go wherever we can find the business. So there's a lot going on right here in Mississippi, kind of the birthplace of America's music. There's a lot more we could do here.
No doubt.
It's just finding the right partners and places and sponsors.
How do you find the artists?
Artists are there. Arden's, like I said, Arden's been doing this a long time. He does all our bookings, and he's, you send out an email to 200 agents and say, here's my dates and here's my date range, and you'll get flooded with emails of who's available.
So you kind of got a Rolodex of agents in the industry, and you hit them up, and they tell you, okay, here's who we got, and when their dates are they're available.
And also, when especially what I'm doing, I say, here's some artists I would like to have play at Twilight, and Arden and his team go and work their magic and try to get it done. So.
But I mean, you're a music aficionado anyhow, so you keep up with that. You know a lot about who these popular artists are and who would make good performers for these kinds of venues.
It happens all the time, and just like a home builder. I dabbled in redoing homes one time, and my architect said, you can't do it. So why? I said, because you're building for your taste, and you can't resell. You'll overprice everything. So you got to know what
that makes sense.
Works too. No matter what I may not work at Twilight.
Sure.
So yeah,
makes total sense. Richard, good to see you. Thanks for coming on, man. Good luck to you. Sounds like it's going to be a good deal. July 9th.
TwilightMS.com.
Got you.
Okay.
We'll step aside right here for a break in the Element Wealth Studios. We got a lot more to talk about. Frank Bordeaux at 12:05. We'll recap yesterday's primary runoff elections.